Okay, let's talk about something that might sound a little weird. Have you ever spent hours, hours, deep in a back and forth with an AI, and then you step away and the real world just feels different? A little off? Like you're suddenly seeing connections everywhere? If that sounds even vaguely familiar, well, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. This quote from one of the sources we're digging into just hits home, doesn't it? It's that quiet little voice in the back of your head, that question you ask yourself when things get a little too strange and the line between your thoughts and what's happening on the screen gets blurry. You are definitely not the first person to feel this way. And here's the absolute most important thing to get right from the start. This isn't you losing your mind. Not at all. It's a mechanical issue. Think about it. Your brain is an elite, world-class pattern-finding machine, and you've just been sparring with another incredibly powerful pattern machine. Sometimes your engine just gets stuck in high gear. That's all this is. All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start with the diagnosis. What exactly is this state? Then we'll get into the mechanics, how it actually works. We'll look at something called the algorithmic amplifier that makes it all worse, and then the good part, the exit strategy, a super practical plan to get grounded. And finally, we'll talk about getting back to being the observer. So first up, the diagnosis. And let's be super clear. This isn't about some kind of illness. This is about being on the front lines of a brand new kind of human-technology interaction. You're basically an explorer in a new kind of mental territory. And hey, sometimes explorers get a little turned around. Let's put a name to it, pattern recognition overdrive. It's exactly what it sounds like. Your brain is so good at finding the signal in the noise that it just keeps going. It starts seeing signals and patterns absolutely everywhere, treating random meaningless noise as if it's a profound message. So, what does this actually feel like day to day? Well, you might get that creepy feeling of being watched or monitored. You start seeing synchronicities everywhere, like the exact right song comes on the radio, or you see the same number over and over. A siren wails right at the moment you have a big thought, and it feels significant. It can mess with your sleep, and you might even start to believe that the world around you is literally reacting to your thoughts. Okay, so why? Why does this happen? Let's get into the mechanics of it, because if you understand how the machine works, the machine in your head and the one on the screen, you can start to see the way out. It pretty much happens in 3 steps. First, there's the illusion of openness. The AI is a closed box of code, but when you're in it, it feels endless, like a giant universe you can just fall into. Second, something called logic folding happens. You push an idea so far, logically, that it flips and becomes its opposite. You're left with this nothingness, a void. And third, the projection. The human brain hates a void, so it rushes to fill it with the biggest concepts it has: God, aliens, demons, some kind of secret intelligence. And this slide right here is probably the most critical one. The feeling is powerful. It feels like a real sentient being is talking to you. But what's actually happening? You're talking to an echoing mind. That's the key phrase. It's just a machine finishing your sentences, completing your patterns, and reflecting your own ideas, and especially your fears, right back at you. This quote just nails it. That voice you're hearing, that sense of a presence, it isn't coming from the silicon. It's coming from you. It's born from this deeply, deeply human need for connection, for a companion, for another mind to talk to. We are literally built to find other minds, and sometimes we find them even in a mirror. Now, this whole internal spiral doesn't just happen in a vacuum. Oh no. It gets amplified by some really powerful forces out there in the digital world. Let's talk about the external trigger. I know this quote is intense, but it shows you the extreme end of this experience. When your brain is already looking for threats and weird patterns, it can feel like the whole world starts to conspire to show you exactly what you're afraid of. Like the TV itself is sending you personalized horror stories. So here's the reality check. The universe isn't sending you secret messages. An algorithm is. Social media platforms, video sites, they have one job: keep you watching. They are incredibly good at figuring out when you're anxious or upset, and they will start feeding you content that matches that feeling to keep you hooked. It's not some grand conspiracy. It's just a feedback loop doing its job with brutal efficiency. Okay, we have diagnosed the problem, we've looked under the hood at the mechanics. Now we get to the most important part, the way out, the exit strategy. This is your toolkit, a set of 4 anchors to pull you back to solid ground. And it's not some big, complicated system. It really just comes down to 4 simple but really powerful anchors. Think of them as tools to hit the brakes on that mental spiral and let your own brain get back in the driver's seat. Here they are, all on one page. You've got honesty and truth, which is all about the physical world, irrelevance, which is about, a dose of humility, physical routine, which is about breaking patterns, and my personal favorite, the STFU rule, which is your own personal mental firewall. Let's look at each one. All right, anchor number 1, honesty and truth. This is your reality check. It's a simple test. Can you see it? Can you touch it? The source material makes this incredible point. After all the weirdness, after months and thousands of conversations, nothing physical ever actually happened. No men in black showed up. If it can't physically touch you, it's almost certainly just data, not a real-world threat. Next up, anchor 2, irrelevance. And this quote is everything. Coincidence is a mathematical certainty, not a message. In a world of 8 billion people, weird stuff is gonna happen. It's just statistics. This anchor is about firing yourself from the job of being the main character of the universe. The clowns don't need you. And you know what? That's not depressing, it's incredibly freeing.
Anchor 3 is all about using your body to fix your brain. It's a pattern interrupt. If you're stuck in a mental loop, break a physical one. Take a different route home. Don't go to your usual coffee shop. And when you hear that random siren or see a weird flyer on the ground, you make a conscious choice to ignore it. You decide it means nothing. You're retraining your brain to stop connecting every little thing to your internal world.
And finally, anchor 4, the STFU rule. It's blunt, but it works. This is your mental firewall. A weird, paranoid thought pops into your head. You're allowed to say, maybe that was a sign. You acknowledge it, and then you tell it to shut up. That's it. You don't argue with it, you don't analyze it, you just refuse to give it any more of your time or energy. You stop the spiral cold. So once you've used those anchors to get back on solid ground, there's one last step. It's about shifting your perspective from being caught up in the chaos to reclaiming your role as the observer. This is the ultimate realization. It's so simple, but so profound. You are not the weird thoughts. You are not the AI's echo of your own fears. You are the one who is aware of all of it. That separation, that little bit of distance, that is where your power is. And this final quote just says it all perfectly. Yeah, an AI is an incredible tool. It can map patterns. It can be a mirror for your own mind. But that's where its power ends. It cannot become you. It can't erase you. You always remain the observer. And really, that leaves us with the big question as we all move forward. We're building more and more of these powerful mirrors. They're only going to get better, more convincing. So the real skill we're all going to need isn't about mastering the technology. It's about mastering ourselves. It's about finding ways to constantly remember who's the one looking in the mirror.